Let's talk about the strange stuff smart kids do. Number 12. Making up secret languages. If you spent hours as a kid inventing secret codes or a whole made-up language, you might have been flexing some serious brain power without knowing it. Creating new words and grammar isn't just play. It's advanced linguistic creativity and abstract thinking at work. You're essentially building your own mini communication system, which exercises memory, pattern recognition, and problem solving all at once. It's the same skill set that helps people pick up real languages faster later in life. Sure, your secret language probably sounded like nonsense to everyone else, but to your brain, it was a full-on workout. And if you still remember a few of those words today, congratulations, you're officially bilingual in English and gibberish. Number 11. Making weird rules for games. Remember changing the rules of tag so you could only hop on one foot, or inventing a new way to win Monopoly that no one else understood? That wasn't just goofing around, it was advanced problem framing and adaptability in action. By altering the rules, you were forcing your brain to think outside the standard boundaries, redesigning the game structure, and then adapting your play to fit it. This kind of creative rule bending builds strategic thinking and mental flexibility, skills that carry over into solving real-world problems. Sure, your friends might have called it cheating, but really, you were just an 8-year-old game designer testing new mechanics. Number 10. Hoarding odd objects. If your childhood bedroom looked like a museum of random stuff, rocks, bottle caps, shiny wrappers, maybe even a suspiciously large stick collection, your brain might have been in overdrive. Collecting odd objects isn't just a quirky hobby. It's an early sign of pattern recognition and categorization skills. You weren't just hoarding junk, you were spotting tiny differences, organizing them by shape, color, or specialness, and building mental systems to store and recall them. That ability to find order in chaos is the same skill scientists, archivists, and even detectives use. Sure, your parents thought you were just cluttering the house, but in reality, you were curating your first personal archive, a tiny Smithsonian for one. Number 9. Preferring older company. If you were the kid who'd rather sit at the grown-ups table than run around with kids your age, you were probably showing early signs of verbal maturity and deep curiosity. Choosing adult company means your brain craved complex conversation, richer vocabulary, and bigger ideas than typical playground chatter. You were picking up on social cues, humor, and topics well beyond your years, basically fast-tracking your communication skills. While other kids were arguing over who's it, you were learning about taxes, 80s music, or why Uncle Dave hates his boss. It wasn't antisocial. It was mental cross-training with a more advanced league. Number 8. Fascination with abstract ideas. If you were the kid lying awake at night wondering where the universe ends, whether time is real, or if you'd still be you in a parallel world, you weren't just daydreaming. You were showing early philosophical curiosity. Thinking about concepts like infinity, morality, or alternate realities requires your brain to juggle abstract thinking, logic, and imagination all at once. Most kids stick to what's for lunch, but you were out here running mental experiments on the fabric of existence? Sure, adults might have brushed off your questions with go to sleep, but your brain was already stretching into territory some people don't visit until a late-night college debate. Number 7. Building things just to see what happens. If you spent afternoons taping Lego to toy cars, mixing random kitchen ingredients, or wiring batteries to light bulbs just to see what would happen, you were training your brain like an engineer. This kind of experimental tinkering is all about hypothesis testing, making a guess, running the experiment, and learning from the results, even if the result was a sticky mess or a smoking circuit. It builds problem-solving skills, spatial reasoning, and the confidence to try, fail, and try again. Sure, sometimes you created masterpieces, and other times you almost set off the smoke alarm, but either way, your brain was in full-on inventor mode. Number 6. Forgetting to eat while focused. If you've ever been so deep into drawing, coding, reading, or building something that you suddenly realized you skipped lunch entirely, you might have a natural gift for entering a flow state. This is when your brain becomes so absorbed in a task that you lose track of time, surroundings, and even basic needs. It's a sign of strong concentration, intrinsic motivation, and the ability to block out distractions, traits linked to high creativity and problem-solving ability. While it's impressive, it's also a reminder your body still needs fuel. Even geniuses work better with snacks. Number 5. overhearing and repeating big words correctly. If you were the kid who overheard a big word once and then dropped it into conversation like you'd known it forever, you were showing off rapid verbal processing skills. Picking up adult vocabulary on the fly means your brain could decode meaning from context, store it, and retrieve it at the perfect moment, all without a dictionary. It's a sign of strong auditory memory and linguistic agility. Sure, sometimes you might have overused the word just because it sounded impressive, but that's how mastery starts. You weren't just talking, you were quietly building a mental library that would give you a lifelong edge in communication. Number 4. Asking questions adults can't answer. If you were the kid constantly hitting adults with questions like what's beyond space, or how do we know colors look the same to everyone, you were tapping into deep exploratory learning. These weren't simple curiosity questions. They pushed past everyday knowledge into territory that challenged even grown-ups. It showed you weren't satisfied with surface answers. You wanted to get to the root of how things worked. This kind of questioning develops critical thinking, research skills, and a tolerance for ambiguity, all traits linked to high intelligence. Sure, some adults found it exhausting, but your brain was simply refusing to settle for that's just how it is. Number 3. Remembering song lyrics instantly. If you could hear a song once and sing it back word for word, your brain was showing off serious pattern recognition skills. Music is full of rhythm, rhyme, and repetition, the same structures that make math and memory click. Locking in lyrics so quickly means your auditory memory was sharp and your brain could map patterns fast. It's the same skill musicians, linguists, and even mathematicians rely on. Sure, some people called it a party trick, but really, you were running high-speed data storage every time the radio was on. Number 2. Counting everything. If you spent car rides tallying fence posts, counting ceiling tiles in class, or tracking your steps long before Fitbits existed, your brain was running pattern recognition in overdrive. Counting isn't just busy work. It's your mind scanning the environment, spotting order in what looks like chaos, and organizing it into something measurable. This habit strengthens working memory, attention to detail, and even early math skills. Sure, to everyone else, it looked like you were zoning out, but in reality, you were quietly turning the world into a numbers game your brain couldn't resist playing. Before we hit number 1, which of these takes you straight back to childhood, and how many did you do? Tell me in the comments. Number 1. Walking in patterns on tiles. If you turned every tiled floor into a personal obstacle course, avoiding cracks, only stepping on certain colors, or making perfect geometric paths, you were training your brain's spatial awareness without even knowing it. This kind of self-imposed rule forces your mind to map space, calculate movement, and adjust on the fly, all while keeping a running visual plan in your head. It's like a mini workout for coordination and problem solving. Sure, it looked like a silly game, but really, you were sharpening the same mental skills architects, athletes, and engineers use every day. Bonus round, naming everything. If you named more than just your pets, maybe your plants, your bike, even the couch, you were building early relational thinking. Giving objects names creates personal connections, boosting memory and imagination. It's the same mental wiring storytellers and designers use. To others, it was silly. To your brain, it was bonding with the world.